You wake up in a dimly lit room that smells like stale air and gasoline. The bed is uncomfortable and the sheets feel rough against your skin. For a split second you wonder if you're still dreaming. But the cold, musty smell, the low hum of a fan spinning lazily in the corner, it's real. You blink, slowly adjusting to the darkness. The world feels muted, distant, like you've been locked away in some forgotten corner of the world. The room is cramped, maybe the size of a small closet, with peeling wallpaper and a window that's more grime than glass. But you don't care about that. Not today. You have a job to do. You roll out of bed and rub your face, the stubble on your chin scratching your palm. Every move you make is slower than it should be, like your body is still waking up. But your mind has been awake for hours. It's been running through the same questions, doubts, fears, plans, all while you try to sleep. The clock reads 7 a.m., or is it? You've lost track of time. You don't even know which day it is anymore. All that matters is the bag on the table, the one that holds the thing that can change your life if you don't screw it up. You glance at your phone, but there's no new messages. Not that you expected any. In this line of work, there's no need for small talk. No texts, no calls, just information when you need it, and silence when you don't. You already know what's expected. It's time to move. Then the knock at the door. The one you've been waiting for, but dreading at the same time. The familiar knock. You walk over to the door, take a deep breath, and open it. He's standing there. The man you've been working with for a few months now. He's rough around the edges, but you know he's reliable. You don't trust him, but you don't need to. Trust doesn't matter in this world. What matters is business. You ready? He asks, his voice low, calm, but there's a hint of urgency there. You know this is it, the first real job, the one that will either make or break you. He holds out a duffel bag, heavy, full of what you know is probably weapons, ammo, things that can get you killed if you're not careful. But it's the job. It's your job now. There's no turning back. You take the bag without saying a word, only nodding. You both know what comes next. He doesn't stay long. The exchange is quick, almost mechanical. You close the door behind him and sit on the bed, the bag in your lap. For a moment, you just stare at it, feeling the weight of it pressing down on your chest. You're not ready for this. Nobody is. But you don't get to back out now. There's a part of you that feels a little sick, a little scared. But that's normal, right? You've never done this before. You've been in the streets, sure, but this is different. This is dangerous. You've heard the stories. You've seen the men who've gone too far, who've gotten too greedy, too careless, and you've seen what happens when they don't make it back. You can't afford to be that guy. You can't let yourself become just another casualty of this world. You grab your jacket, throw it on, and sling the duffel bag over your shoulder. You check your reflection in the cracked mirror. You don't look like a smuggler. You don't feel like one. But then again, does anyone ever feel like they belong in this life? The mirror doesn't offer any answers. You just look at your eyes, steady yourself, and head for the door. You walk out of the hotel and onto the street where the world continues, oblivious to what's about to go down. Cars honk, people shout, the noise of the city fills your ears, but none of it matters. This isn't the world you're living in anymore. This is a world of deals made in the shadows, of transport routes that never go through the front door, of money that's clean when it's passed under the table and dirty when it comes to the surface. You make your way to the van parked a few blocks away. It's unmarked, plain, forgettable. It has to be. No attention drawn, no questions asked. You slide into the driver's seat, start the engine, and begin your journey. Every turn feels calculated. Every stop feels like it could be the wrong one. Your mind is racing through all the possible risks. The cops, the rival smugglers, the buyers. You can't help but think of what would happen if things go wrong. What happens if the cops pull you over? What happens if the buyers don't show up? What happens if you're caught in the act? But you push the thoughts aside. There's no room for fear in this game. You push it all down and focus on the road ahead. It's too late to second-guess yourself now. You finally arrive at the meeting point. An abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. There are no signs, no lights, just the dark outline of the building against the night sky. You park the van, grab the duffel bag, and head for the back entrance. This is where it all begins. The door creaks open. Inside it's dark, but your contact is waiting, standing next to a dimly lit table. He's a bigger player than you. You can tell by the way he carries himself, the way he moves, the way he looks at you. There's no warmth in his eyes, only business. You set the bag down on the table. The moment stretches between you, heavy with the knowledge that this is no longer just about the money. This is about survival. This is about crossing a line you can never uncross. The deal goes smoothly, as it always does. No surprises. You hand over the goods. He checks them, nods, then hands you a thick envelope full of cash. It's heavy. You don't even have to count it. You know it's enough. Good work, he says, his voice flat, but the words are almost a compliment. You don't respond. You don't need to. You both know what's really going on. You grab the envelope, walk back to the van, and leave. As you drive away, you feel a strange sense of detachment. It's not relief. Not yet. It's just the realization that this is now part of your life. The door's been opened, and there's no closing it again. The money is good. More than you've ever seen it once. It'll change things. You'll be able to buy better things, live better, get closer to the life you've always dreamed about. But the weight of the job doesn't leave you. The quiet reminder that you're not the only one in this world. The job is never done. The risk never fades. It only gets bigger. You return to your hideout, counting the money, but also thinking about the future. The buyers, the next job, the people who will come knocking. The danger never stops, but neither do you. This is the life you've chosen, and now you've crossed a line. The real question is, how far are you willing to go? The first job is done. But as you sit there counting your cash, something feels different. The fear, the thrill, the feeling of being part of something bigger, all of it lingers. You've entered a world of power, danger, and deceit, and there's no turning back now. But the deeper you go into this world, the more you start to understand how far the rabbit hole goes. The risk gets higher, the rewards get bigger. But so do the enemies, the law enforcement, the people who will stop at nothing to take you down. You can't help but wonder if the price for this life will eventually become more than you're willing to pay. You've made it out. Barely. But you're not stupid enough to think you're safe now. That first job that seemed so big at the time, was nothing more than an initiation, a test. You passed, sure, but it was only a glimpse of the world you've just entered. The air feels thinner now. You can feel the weight of every breath, like the walls are closing in. The reality of what just happened starts to set in. You feel a strange mix of adrenaline and fear, like a hard punch to the gut. You've never been this close to real trouble before, but it's clear now that you're in deeper than you ever expected. You knew the risks. Everyone knows the risks. But there's always that part of you that thinks you're different, smarter, faster, more careful. And the truth? The truth is that everyone who's ever lived a life like this has thought the same thing. The ones who get out alive are the ones who know when to stop. The ones who keep pushing, who think they're invincible. They end up as a cautionary tale. But not you. You're smarter than that. You can handle this. You've made it this far, and you'll make it the rest of the way. The phone rings. You already know who it is before you pick up. Your contact. The one who keeps feeding you bigger jobs, bigger risks, bigger money. This time it's different. It's bigger than anything you've ever done before, and that familiar knot forms in your stomach. The job? Weapons. More than just rifles this time. This is the kind of deal that makes or breaks men like you. Explosives, high-tech weaponry, the kind of stuff you don't even ask questions about. You don't want to know where it's going, who the buyers are, or what it'll be used for. All you know is that the money is obscene. You've been told this is the deal that will put you in a different league. But you also know that nothing about this job feels right. You can feel the danger in the air, thick like a storm about to break. The buyers are different this time too, not the usual middlemen. These are the kinds of players who don't tolerate mistakes. One wrong move, and you could disappear forever. Your contact tells you to trust him, but deep down, you know trust is a currency in this world that runs out quickly. Still, you take the job. There's a familiar mix of excitement and dread as you prepare. The cargo is heavy and the route is even heavier. You've learned to keep your eyes open and your emotions in check. You've seen too many men get careless, get greedy, and get caught. You can't afford to be like them. But as you pack the gear and double-check the details, you feel a tightening in your chest. This isn't just another drop-off. This isn't just another bag of rifles. This is the big leagues now. You head out, keeping to the shadows, watching every movement, every vehicle that passes by. You've always been careful, but now it feels like you're being watched. Every corner feels too exposed. Every stop feels too long. You know it's paranoia, but you can't shake the feeling that this time, something is different. When you finally arrive at the meeting point, the anxiety in your stomach is unbearable. You park the van a few blocks away and wait. You know you're early, but that doesn't matter. You're here now, and the job needs to happen. The weight of what you're carrying makes your shoulders sag, but you can't afford to look weak. The contact shows up late. That's always a bad sign. But it's not until he hands you the money that the first red flag raises its ugly head. The deal is off. Not in the way you expected, though. The buyers, they're already gone. They set you up. You're standing there, bags in hand, when you realize that the whole thing was a trap. The buyers didn't want the cargo. They wanted you. There's a flash of panic in your chest. This wasn't supposed to happen. You were careful. You planned. You've crossed dangerous paths before, but you've never been this close to the line. And now, the line has crossed you. In the chaos that follows, you make a split-second decision. Run. You grab the money, the weapons, and you bolt. The sound of footsteps behind you is close. Too close. You don't know if it's the buyers, the cops, or someone else. But you don't look back. You just run. The adrenaline surges through your veins as you dart through alleyways, past buildings, over fences. The city is a maze, but it's not big enough to keep you hidden for long. You can hear the voices getting louder, the pounding footsteps growing closer. You round a corner and spot a place to hide, slipping into an abandoned building. Your heart is in your throat, and you can feel the sweat on your skin. You pull the duffel bag tight against your body and wait, listening for any sign of pursuit. Your mind races. You've been in situations before, but this feels different. The fact that you almost got caught shakes you in ways you didn't expect. The buyers, the guns, the setup. The night drags on as you lay low, trying to figure out what to do next. The city feels colder now, more dangerous. It's as if the walls are closing in on you. The phone is buzzing, but you know better than to pick it up. You've lost your contact. The job's gone sideways. And the buyers? They're still out there somewhere. It's not just about the weapons anymore. It's about survival. In the morning, you make a decision. You need to get out of the city. Fast. But you know you can't leave without clearing the mess. You can't afford to leave a trail. But even as you plan your exit, the doubt gnaws at you. What's next? How many more deals can you make? How many more risks can you take? It's not just about money anymore. That was never the goal. It's about survival. Every decision, every step could be your last. You get out of the city, laying low for a while. The days blur together as you take on smaller jobs, making connections, repairing the damage from that last deal. But the world is smaller now. You feel the weight of every decision more heavily. You realize that the deeper you get, the less freedom you have. This life that promised so much power and money is starting to feel more like a trap. The kind of trap that doesn't just close on you, it consumes you. You sit in the dark of your hideout one night, staring at the walls and wondering if you can ever really escape this life. The money, the power, the influence, it all comes with a price. And in this world, there's no easy way out. The money doesn't change you the way you thought it would. You thought it would bring you peace, but instead, it just brings more questions, more risk, more choices that matter more than anything you ever imagined. As you lie awake at night, the cold reality of what you've done starts to settle in. You can't change your past, but you can choose how you move forward. The smuggling world is bigger than you imagined. And the more you dive into it, the more you realize there's no such thing as winning. There's only survival. You're not the same person who walked into this world, but you're not sure you ever could be again. And maybe that's the scariest part of all.